Everyone wants and deserves to live independently, especially those who can't see. That's why the Fidelco Guide Dog Foundation breeds, trains, and places German Shepherds with men and women who have visual disabilities, like one of our next guests. Retired Staff Sergeant Michael Malarcy was blinded in an IED attack in Afghanistan in January of 2010 that killed 4 of his friends. He joins me now along with his dog, Exxon, and Elliot Russman, the CEO and Executive Director of Fidelco Guide Dog Foundation. And you have 2 other little puppies with us today, Elliot.
We do. We have 2 of our 6-week-old pups from the E26 litter. You've got Turquoise Girl, and I've got Red Girl.
All right. Now, Sergeant Malarcy, you have a really incredible story. Why don't you explain to us what happened back in 2010?
So I was, long story short, on a foot patrol in Afghanistan, and I was in the Air Force, and the job was to call in airstrikes for the Army. So we were on a foot patrol, 13 of us, and we got ambushed, multiple IEDs and small arms fire. I got injured in the first explosion. The soldier that stepped on it killed him instantly. The soldier behind him hit me in my face and my neck and destroyed my vision right there on the spot.
Wow. But you stayed in the fight. You were awarded the Bronze Star with Valor and Heroism. So thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Exxon and how he came into your life.
So Exxon, I consider myself very fortunate. During my recovery, I had a caseworker who was married to another blinded airman. And about the time that I started making known that I wanted a guide dog, he had just received his a couple of months prior. So talking with him, he said, hey, you need to look into the Fidelco Guide Dog Foundation. They got a grant from the Newman's Own Foundation, and the goal is to provide service dogs for veterans. So I filled out an application, and I think it was the next day I heard back from them. They were coming out to my house to see how my lifestyle was to find the perfect dog for me. And 2 months later, he's on my doorstep.
Exxon arrived. And Exxon gets along with your family?
Oh, great. Absolutely great.
And it has changed your life, I would assume.
Yes. So I went from being very active, very on the go all the time, to all of a sudden being blind and being timid. I had the cane, I had been through the training, but it was slow going, it was frustrating, and it wasn't like it used to be, and that was hard for me. Yeah. Now, after I got Exxon, that changed. I walk faster than most sighted people do now, and I love that. I love being able to move quickly to get where I need to go, and he gives me so much more confidence and courage to just to take on every single day.
Sure. Elliot, let me ask you, what is it with German Shepherds that make them a good dog for this?
Well, the German Shepherd dog is a working dog, unlike other guide dogs that are sporting breeds. And what's special about the Fidelco German Shepherd guide dog is it's a bloodline that we own, that we created, and have refined over the last 50 years. So we get very predictable results in terms of all the important elements that a blind person needs in a guide dog: temperament, the desire to work, intelligence, and safety. And
I'm assuming the mission of Fidelco, somewhere along the lines, is to let them have an independent life, those with disabilities.
Well, that's true. The mission of the Fidelco Guide Dog is to promote increased independence and mobility for men and women who are blind by providing them with life-changing and life-saving guide dogs. But in terms of America's military, like Michael, we believe it's our duty to provide guide dogs to men and women who have served our country to protect and defend the very independence that we cherish so much.
Now, does a person with disabilities have to pay for a Fidelco dog?
Absolutely not. The Fidelco Guide Dog is given to every single client free of cost, and Fidelco provides lifetime client service for every one of our clients as long as the dog and the team are working.
Now, what would you say is the average cost for Fidelco to raise a dog?
Well, the cost is $45,000 of direct costs and 2 years from birth to placement. And we receive funding from individuals and organizations. As Michael mentioned, Newman's Own Foundation paid for Exxon, and it's the generosity of others to want to help us fulfill our mission that's so important.
Okay, let's put some pictures up on the screen. I know, Michael, your family's there. You guys are from Texas, but life is moving along for you, right? You have your freedom back.
Absolutely. There's been so many changes. I mean, I'd planned on staying in the military, and obviously this is not part of that plan. But I've recently retired, 2-year-old, 4-year-old, 6-month-old.
Wow, your
guide
hands
dog.
full.
Life is busy, but it's never been better.
That's terrific. And does Exxon go everywhere with you?
Everywhere. I think the only time I've ever left him home was when I was getting scuba certified, and that's because he wanted to be in the water with me.
Sure.
But other than that, I mean, he goes everywhere, airplanes, hotels, restaurants.
How do you communicate with him?
It's almost all through feeling and practice. You know, initially, I was pretty timid. It was hard for me to trust him if I knew I was walking toward a flight of stairs, for example. I've always noticed myself slowing down and kind of sticking my feet out. Now, we walk up the flight of stairs, he stops, and I can tell by how he moves if it's a stair or if it's a curb or if maybe there's an obstacle in the way. And I can tell just by feel kind of what's going on around us.
Elliot, let's talk about some fundraising because we have to have the program continue. You have an upcoming Ride for Independence. Tell us the details.
Right. No money, no mission. So
there you
we're
go.
always out there fundraising. Our third annual Ride for Independence, which is a motorcycle fundraising event, is this Sunday, July 21st. It begins and ends at Fidelco. Again, we're very fortunate that we have a Patriot sponsor in the Aetna Corporation who provides the funding to get this off the ground. We're expecting between 300 and 500 riders to ride with us.
Oh, great.
It'll be a great day of motorcycle rides. We've got law enforcement canine demonstrations, Fidelco dogs. We'll have a great lunch by Black Eyed Sally's. And it'll just be a very fun day for all those who come.
Great. Are you also looking for foster parents or volunteers?
Fidelco is always looking for volunteers. We have a very small staff of just 40 people, but we're blessed to have over 350 volunteers who help us. And some are volunteer puppy raisers who will eventually get these E26 pups. Others care for our breed dogs. We have many opportunities to work with animals in the kennel or to socialize young puppies and work in the administration office or at events. So bring your passion to Fidelco and we'll find a place for you.
Absolutely. That E26 is very well behaved.
Yeah, she's very well behaved. This is
really
what we agreed
enjoying
for,
it, huh?
And we hope for her as well for a young puppy.
All
She's
right.
great.
Well, let's put the information up on the screen. Fidelco's Ride for Independence is happening this Sunday. It's 103 Vision Way in Bloomfield. Go to fidelco.org for more information. Michael, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thanks for bringing Exxon along. And Elliot, thank you for getting all the information out.
Thank you so very much.
All right, up next, Chef Deborah Queen shares one of her favorite recipes when we come back.